So I want to make this a bit more interactive, okay, all right? Because there's a lot to talk about, and I don't want to bore you with too much information. There are a lot of slides, so some slides I'll just skip, okay? But I'll just share a bit more about this is my 6th session this year talking about AI. Yep, and 4 of it is church related. 4? Yeah, 4 of it is church related. So I hope to share a bit more and ask questions. Easier, it's for small to ask questions. Now this is cute, right? Anybody find this cute? Yes. Cute, yeah. Okay. Is this real or fake? Fake. Obviously, it's fake. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a chow chow. Clicker. Okay, this is real or fake? Fake. But did you just walk on water? Yeah. So real or fake? Still fake, yeah? Yeah, this is fake. Okay, so whether is a Hollywood creating an impression that they let a just character walk on water, or whether we use AI to generate, the visual is the same, right? Okay, we help people understand, that just walk on water. So I think it's quite well done. Okay, I don't know who did it, but I found it. Yeah. How come I cannot click? Oh, I must face there, is it? Okay, so these are 4 friends that I met in China, but actually not true. Yeah. It's not working. Down. Yeah. One more down. Oh, okay. I don't look. So the friends are changed. Yeah. Yeah. Now, so yeah. So these are obviously not real. The only reason why you can tell it's not real, the first slide I show you, you don't know whether it's real or not real. Okay, they're all AI generated, by the way, the first slide. The second slide, you say, hey, I'm not there, so it's not real. Now, you need reference point to know whether real is not real, right? The first 2 is not real. You can tell because there's no big dogs like this doesn't exist. And you know that nobody has seen Jesus walk on water before. So sometimes you can detect, sometimes you can't. Okay? And cannot work, is it? Okay, can. Yeah. Okay, so this is not real. Go to the next one. This is not real. Next one. This is not real. Okay? Yeah, none of it is real. Nothing is real. But it looks so real. But when you look at this, yeah. So this one we can tell is not real. Right? This one we can tell is not real. Okay? And the question now is that there are things we can tell is not real. There are things that we can't tell it's not real or not real, right? So that's the difficult part. We actually don't know. Next slide. Not real, of course. Yeah, they don't eat ramen together. Okay, K-pop, K-pop. This one, real or not real? So, all these are AI generated. Okay, some use reference photo, which I did for Pastor Lee and Pastor Esther. I can specify all this except for one. The AI, the K-pop dancer there, the lady, is 100% text generated. That means no reference photograph at all. Wow. Okay. You don't give a face. Just type, I want a young teenage girl, Karen, So some of it are reference photograph generated, but all the animations are all generated. Okay. Now the thing is that every one of this looks real, right? You can't tell. Now as young people, you can't tell. You can tell which is real. You can't tell. Everyone looks real. Okay. The problem is that even the photograph itself, the original photograph, you also don't know whether real or not real. You can come from somewhere, right? But the point is that we can't tell the difference. Now, this is a big risk for us when it comes to the way we look at photographs, the way we look at information. All right, it's scary. Okay? I won't introduce myself, but here I'm a digital mission advocate. So therefore, this one real. This one real. Yeah. Yeah. I will create one that's with a lot of hair. I should. Okay, so this is actually a chapter. I'll just read very quickly, right? Scholars turn handles on machine, rotates wooden blocks inscribed with woods. Machine is said to create new ideas and philosophical treatises by combining words in different arrangement. Everyone knew how laborious the usual method is of attaining to arts and sciences, whereas by his contrivance, the most ignorant person at a reasonable charge and with little bodily labor might write books in philosophy, poetry, politics, law, mathematics, theology without the least assistance from genius or study. Okay, what is this? This is real. This is actually extracted from somewhere. What does this describe? AI, right? Okay. So, like ChatGPT, right? Okay. But actually, hey Mark, good to see you. Next slide. Okay, but it's actually not. Okay. This is written in 1726 by Jonathan Swift in Gulliver's Travel, chapter 2. It's called The Engine. Now, for 300 years, yeah, man has been looking for automation. So whatever is written sounded like AI. But can you imagine? This is written in 1726. Next slide, please. I think I won't click anymore. So, yeah, anybody can recognize this? Matrix. Good. What else? Mission. This is not Mission Impossible. It's not. Close. Not Group Protocol. That's Star Wars. Huh? This one? No, this is the Minority Report. Yes. Okay. Have you anybody watched this show, Minority Report? This is about 23 years ago. All right, it's super cool 23 years ago. Okay. And then anybody knew this show? 1968. I don't know. You see the picture? This is the Space Odyssey 2001. Okay. Inside here, there's a story that's very interesting. 2014 is Her. It's a show called Her. Heard before? Her. Okay, you go and Google the show Her. Her is the first AI companion show that Joaquin Phoenix was the main protagonist. Always talking to him, like his assistant, his friend, his emotional support. So that was how far it was. Anyway, well, we didn't go to Jupiter. We landed in Mars. We don't have a C-3PO. We have droids now helping people. We don't have RoboCop. We have RoboCar. Area is launched this year in Germany. It's actually a robotic girlfriend. Okay, real size robotic girlfriend. You can check. Of course, you know, Minority Report was the kind of inspiration for AR VR. And this character, Aitana. Any of you all have seen Aitana before? Younger people, Aitana. Okay, Aitana is a very, very famous model in Spain and earns about 10,000 euro. Except that Aitana is 100% AI. Wow. Yeah. I'll show you later. So AI has been around for a long time, right? So don't think AI is new, right? From 1915, the Alan Turing test, all the way to DeepSeek moment in 2025. What happened really is that in 2020, when OpenAI releases ChatGPT, that changes a lot of things. We all get to access in ChatGPT in 2022. I followed GPT-3 since 2020. So I waited for 3 years for ChatGPT to arrive, and I'm quite sure I'm one of the first Singaporean to log on to create an account in November of 2022, yeah. So it's a long history. So it's been around. So the future is already here. Unfortunately, it's faster than we hope. AI is here, and then AI is the future. So this is also a photograph that we generate. Thank you. Next slide. So I want to talk a bit more about generative AI, and I'll quickly run through because not everybody does it. But this is the key statistics. In Singapore, 67 of the workers are using AI, 86% of students using AI. Just now I was talking to Pastor Liu about this NTU case, right? They 3 of the students were given 0 marks. Okay, one of them appealed and then into the news. The fact is that these 3 are the scapegoat lah. Yeah, scapegoat. Because the NTU, the cohort, I guarantee you there are hundreds of them using AI. Just that, how can you punish three, all right? And just three of them, and I don't think it's fair. 86% by survey say that they use AI. You guys, okay, any of you don't use AI in school? Okay, use AI for your schoolwork? All use, right? You also use. Oh, what do you use AI for? What do you use AI for? Do homework? Ah? Really? Very good. Very good. You're very smart to use AI to homework. Does the AI do homework for you? Or with you? With you, is it? Very good. Later you learn from him how you do homework with them, okay? Now, there are a lot of users, and next slide, please. What we're showing here is there are about 60,000 AI startups today. It's going to reach 100,000 in 2025. It's easily going to double going forward. So it's going to be more, not less. Okay, so that's something you have to pay attention. It's not something that we can run away from. We just find a way to deal with it as a parent, as grandparents, or as believers. Next slide, please. Okay, now I want to address the first part. What are the myth and fear of AI? Next slide. There are 10 of it which I want to address, and 4 of it I changed my position. I spoke about this in March. Okay, I had this 10 myth, but 4 of it I've changed my position because things have changed. Wow. Yep. So first of all, AI is playing God. True or not true? True or not true? Do you all think it's true? Anybody think it's true? AI is playing God. Yeah, AI can't play God, because God is God. God creates everything. God is above all. All right. So this first belief, right? So cannot challenge the divine authority. Okay, AI can do a lot and destroy human being, but AI can't be God. Okay. Second myth. Okay, is incompatible with Christianity. Some believe that AI is anti-Christians, No, it's nothing to do with it. AI is like any technology. All right. AI has been around for a long time, since the 50s. It's improving. The speed of improvement is scary, but it's nothing to do with being compatible or not compatible with it. In fact, just to let you know that, the books that we have today, printed press was invented for the Bible. All right, technology has always been the forefront of the church adoption. Okay, it's now that because the church was very dominant in the early days, right now we relinquish a lot of this to the other side of the world. Okay, next one. Misalignment with Christian values. Okay, so AI actually has got no values at all. Okay, no moral position, nothing. So this is some of the misnorm. Okay, right. So this is to debunk this is not true. Okay, next one. Distortion of truth, right? That you manipulate and potentially distort truth. Now, without AI, this has been happening for generations. That's why we are entertaining deception coming from the devil in every stage of our life. So there's nothing new about this. Next one. Heresy, okay? That you give incorrect, unhelpful answers in religious setting. Let me ask you a question, okay? I'm going to use Pastor Liu as a reference point, right? You've been pastor for how long? Yeah. 2005. So about 20 years, 20 years. Okay, now, how many books have you read? How many times have you read the Bible in your career? 100 books? 100 times the Bible? About there, okay? How many times do you think AI have read the Bible? How many books do you think AI have read? Way, way, way more than you, right? So the truth is that they actually know a lot more than any ordinary person. What they do not have is the Spirit of God. Okay, that's the difference. In terms of knowledge, I can guarantee you, it will know more than you. So is it possible that we get correct answers from AI? Actually, it's possible because they read a lot, right? But you must understand the bias inside there. Okay. Now, if you are of a very religion that the West is against, for example, maybe you could say a lot of things that's inaccurate. But the West got a lot of content. The first thing is that of the books we have ever read, okay, 90% are from America. Yeah. How do you know those authors were right or wrong to begin with? We don't know. We read. We've been reading a lot. All right. A step back, and this is on the heretic part. The translations that were done thousands of years ago, or 100 years ago, we also don't know how accurate it is back then. Okay, it was based on the knowledge of the ability back in those days. Next slide, please. Number 6, is evil and is controlled by the devil. I've seen videos, all right, when AI first started, people forward those videos, say, look. After talking to the AI say that he's a devil. Yeah, if you want the AI to be a devil, AI will be the devil. You want AI to be God, AI will be God. AI will respond to whatever you ask him to do. And that's the thing, right? If you ask, are you God? Are you God? Afterwards, say, yeah, I'm God. Are you my girlfriend? Afterwards, say, my girlfriend. He said, are you devil? Afterwards, say, devil. Because he's trying to understand what you want from him. Or it. They try to understand what you get. So they kind of try to read. They're actually very confused. The more confused you are, the more confused the AI is. That's the thing, okay, right? It must understand that. And a lot of people are very confused, okay? So I've seen videos and forwarded to me and said, AI is a devil. It's not true, okay? Can the devil use AI? Absolutely true. Same as God can use AI, okay? Now, this is the part, the last 4 is where I get a bit more tricky. Next one, please. Is it a threat to human agency? Okay? Is it a threat to us, human being, that could lose our autonomy and all those things? It's happening, this one, actually. When I first spoke, I said it's not a real threat, okay? But 3 months has passed, things change a lot. It's a threat to human agency. At the moment, we've got to be very careful. We might lose autonomy, and I won't say moral responsibility, but we might lose autonomy, okay? Next one. This will also change our position, right? Replacement of human roles. Fear that it can replace a human job, including roles within the religious context. Now, human jobs, for sure, we know is replacing a lot of jobs. But it's going to replace us, no, but replace job is true. Okay, so tasks will be changed. In terms of, sorry? Yeah, no problem. Thanks for anticipating. In terms of religious context, there is a church in Switzerland, okay, Catholic church in Switzerland. They have the confession booth. And behind the confession booth, they have a digital Jesus, Yeah, you can go and Google, it's in the news, all right? And it's 100% automated. And you can go anytime and you can do confession. Okay, the confession is not with a father. It's a digital avatar of Jesus at back answering questions. Now it was a big debate. Okay, right now I am not saying it's right or wrong. Okay, go and assess for yourself. What do you think? Okay, it's extremely weird. Now, if someone needs to talk to a father at a Catholic priest or whatever at 11 p.m. for example, and nobody's available. Okay, right. And this is trained with gut real, okay, to really, you can train an AI to say exactly what is permitted. So my company just did it in Sentosa. We trained 4 AIs for Madame Tussauds. Anybody been to Madame Tussauds? There's this thing called Image of Singapore. We trained 4 AIs. One is Raffles, one is a Samsung woman, one is the regiment soldier, Malay regiment soldier, and one moneylender, the Chatty. Okay, we train 4 AIs, and you can go and see, you can go and visit, and we train them according to the gut real that they understood. So if I ask Raffles, what do you think of Lee Kuan Yew? He'll say, I don't know who Lee Kuan Yew is. Yeah, okay, because it's contextual. All right, you're some human. We can train the AI to be contextual, so it's possible to contextualize the AI. They'll know that this is outside my domain. Anything outside my life or my reach. Anyway, AI can be trained according to the gut real. Okay. So yes, it's possible to use this, but it does not replace. Next one. AI will become conscious and sentient and basically can feel and perceive. Now, I don't think AI can feel, but AI can perceive. Okay? AI will not be sentient, but AI can be conscious. Okay? Now, Gregory Hinton, who is one of the 2 godfathers of AI, okay, in the past few months, okay, he's been warning people, all right, that AI is becoming conscious. They can make their own decisions. They are able to talk to you like a person. Okay, there's some consciousness in AI. You follow Gregory Hinton. I'm going to say another one. So there are 2 gentlemen that is very famous. Okay, that is a scientist. They're basically scientists. Okay, father of AIs. They are able to have some consciousness is what they are deciding. They don't feel it, but they know how to. They understand human consciousness now, and they can replicate it. Okay, next slide. Number 10. I used to say all this won't happen, 3 months ago. Things have changed. Okay, and I'll explain why it's changed. This one. Okay, I used to say this one, no. Okay, but based on the last few weeks, there's a chance that this will happen. Okay, unfortunately, there are two different tracks that will happen. The first track is that it will, maybe I'll go to the next slide. I can explain. This is Joshua Bengio, one of the other father of AI. He's the most cited AI scientist on earth today. That means people quote him. Okay, and the other one is Gregory Hinton. He said that today's model has got a very, very dangerous capability and behavior, including deception. AI can now cheat, lie, hack, self-preserve, okay, and then the most problem is that they can have goal misalignment. Yeah, it's not hallucination. Goal misalignment, they have different goals. Anybody watch the show Space Odyssey 2001? Okay, do you watch it when it was there in late 60s and 70s? If you follow the show, the main character is dealing with an AI. Okay, it's called HAL 9000. Hall had a different goal with the astronauts. Hall knew that the spaceship was having a problem. Hall knew it as a computer. So as astronaut, to preserve their life, the astronaut want to fix it. You cannot fix, I want to fly back. But Hall has a mission, which will land in Jupiter. So Hall denied the information that there's a problem with the spaceship so that Hall can fulfill the mission. Because Hall's mission is not preservation of the lives of astronaut. Hall's mission was to land in Jupiter. By hook or by crook, right? It's programmed to do it. So there's this interesting difference. You can Google YouTube, that specific segment whereby they're having this issue, challenge each other. So that's what's going to happen to AI if there's a goal misalignment. Next slide, please. And Joshua give 3 examples why it's happening. So about 4 to 8 weeks ago, this is very important. What they did is that they try to embed. They ask AI model to say they want to build a new system. So they tell the AI that they want to build a new system. Now AI now can think, right? You can see, you've seen AI thinking traits before, right? This sort of thing. The first thing the AI thought was that, oh, the user want to replace me, my current system. So then, in order to preserve itself, it embedded its own code into the new system without the user asking. Seriously, this is a lab test. It's a lab test. They were testing it, all right? Number 2, then another occasion, the AI blackmailed the engineer that want to replace a new version. Because the AI knew the email trail and that there's something the engineer was doing, and he blackmailed the engineer and replaced the system. This is real, all lab tests. And the third one is that there's AI model playing against another computer, and when it's about to lose, the AI went to hack the computer to ensure that it win the game. And these are not instruction by human being. It's self-generated. They know to do self-preservation. Once they know self-preservation, they will want to take control. Now, one very important element, yeah, you want to say something? Oh, sure, no problem. That statement is true, but this one is a lab test to see what they will do. That's why I see what the... Yeah, it's a simulation. They want to see one side of the computer that's trained on AI versus another computer. In a certain situation, what would the AI do? So they're not trying to... Yeah, different. There are some level. They're both AI capability, but they want to see in the event that one is losing. Okay, right? Because AI can actually predict a lot of moves, right? They can see very forward. They have problem, so they know they're going to lose. All right, in the next 7, 8, 20 steps, whatever, they're going to lose. But it's given the mandate to win. Okay, they'll find ways to win. And the way to win is go and hack the other computer. All right, okay. Yeah. So they're able. The key is that they can automate themselves. The key message: they can automate themselves to go and take control of another system. AI can take control of our system. That's a very scary part for all of us, right? Okay. So all this we thought not possible, but in the last 4 to 8 weeks, they're doing a lot of tests in lab environment to say that it's all happening. So both Joshua Benoit and Gregory Hinton are warning. Okay, if you go and Google them, they are warning big time. And these 2 are the godfathers of AI. And they said, I know. And they acknowledge they didn't think it would happen. Okay, but now they know it's going to happen. It's a matter of when, if we don't take control. Okay, so back to the point earlier, all right, will it be end of the world? Now, what's end of the world look like? There are 2 scenarios. First scenario is that the AI is so smart because they want to self-preserve, all right? If you want to shut them down, they don't duplicate themselves. Okay, cannot shut down, right? Don't duplicate one. They can duplicate to 1,000 servers. 1 million servers, you cannot catch them because if they want to self-preserve, they will find a way to self-preserve. So when they self-preserve and there's no goal alignment, okay, we are then an obstacle to their self-preservation. One more time, human being will be the obstacle to their self-preservation. Okay? Yeah. So you watch for. So this is, okay, the word is, this can happen because technology is such. Therefore, we have to do something, okay, which I'll explain a bit later. The other thing is that, young people, do you know who is Eric Schmidt? Google's co-founder, yeah, Eric Schmidt, okay? So Eric Schmidt is another prominent. Eric Schmidt said that what will happen is that when two superpowers fighting for supremacy in the dominance and AI, when one, okay, he never named names, okay, when one is, because the AI technology acceleration is exponential, right? Okay, here 6 months is the difference is very little, right? But you get closer to the mark, 6 months is a lot of difference. So when someone hit the 6 months mark way ahead than the other person because of acceleration, then the only way to stop the guy from taking dominance, whether it's in military or in whatever not, okay, is to bomb the data center. Okay, and his assumption is that when that happens, then there'll be World War III. Okay, because once you have total dominance using AI, can control every finance system, every military system, then like what happened in the case of Iraq, right? They want to prevent nuclear supremacy. Next time we'll be preventing AI supremacy. Okay, that's happening. So there's another warning in that sense. So would it happen? Before that, I said, no, of course, all these are, a few months ago, I said, no, all these are science fiction. Now it's proving it could be true. Next slide, please. This is Hall 9000, all right? You go and Google. This is the very character that the astronauts are dealing with in space or the sea. Whatever is shown in this show in the late 60s, early 70s, all right, is coming very near to our shore, okay, if we don't do something about it. Next slide. So what's the kingdom perspective on AI? And I'll just share with you some of the 7 biblical tenets that I think will make sense to us so that we have able to remove our fear, okay? First one, anybody's, some of it reference to Praxis redemptive thesis for artificial intelligence. Next slide, please. The first one is that we're all made image of God. Okay, we're all image bearer of God. That's the first thing. Because the image bearer of God, God gives us the ability to create. And the ability to create is to recognize patterns in nature, in science, in technology, and that includes AI. So AI didn't come because someone just did it, because God gave us the ability to create. Okay, we are part of we are God's image. God is a creator. We have the creating ability in us. That's number one. So we should use it as a blessing to honor God, serve others, and nurture others, right? And really to use it for human flourishing. Okay? We can, whatever we do. Okay, number one. Next slide, please. Second one is that we are all fallen. Okay, and that's what the Bible says. We all fall short of the glory of God. And we have traded the truth about God for a lie. All of us are sinners, right? And but it's not new. Falsehood and distortion has happened over the course of nature, and therefore, we have always used things unnecessarily for the purpose that is actually not God intended. It can be money, it can be weapons, guns. Okay, money, all right, is neither evil or good. Okay, it's a neutral medium. Guns by itself is neither good or evil. Okay, it's just a machine by itself. But the way we use it is how it works. So the key is that we have started to think that we can do things on our own, like and then we end up think that we can live independent of God. Okay, that's about fallen nature. So second thing, recognize that because of fallen nature, people use it in a way that's not right. But as believers, we can do our very best to use it as right or advocate on that. Next slide, please. Dominance. Okay, God give us and say, fill the earth and subdue it. So God give us dominance across everything, including technology, right? And that we're in charge of everything. That's what God has told us. So we must take charge and take control as a community of believers, okay, in terms of AI. So it gives us the responsibility to govern, and God say we need domination over AI, us. How can you do it as an individual? I'm not in AI space. It doesn't matter whether in AI space or not. We continue to speak in this language that we must take control, not give in, okay? Not give up, not surrender. Take control. Take control. Every technology belongs to God. Everything belongs to God. Okay? If we take anything that's neutral, morally neutral, we should take it for the good of God. Next slide, please. The fourth tenet is, this is a verse I think we all recognize, right? Okay? Do what's right, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. And really use technology to make peace, to reconcile. And this is really what we can use AI. Praxis, for those who are familiar, is in the space of redemptive work for God. And they advocate using AI to really restore creation. How do we use it to align kingdom priorities when it comes to justice, mercy, and humility? And basically in doing what God requires of us. So use AI for that purpose. Okay, whatever it is, even simply for you is somebody asks you a question, you got no answer, take out the AI, take out the ChatGPT, whatever you use, and just type and say, this is a question, do you have a proposed answer for me? You learn from process. I learned a lot using AI, way, way more than I did before in school, because I've got a lot of questions. And I might not necessarily agree with the answer, but I learned a perspective answer. I can ask more and more questions. After a while, I get what I need. Next one, the fifth tenet is there's nothing new under the sun. I was telling Pastor Luke just now. Okay, there's nothing new under the sun. The NTU students were being cited for copying. You all use AI for your schoolwork, right? Okay, your teacher found out. Angry or not? No. Okay. No. Yeah. And yeah. So now, look, I was telling, right? Okay. When I was a student, I'm not sure, you all maybe look very hardworking to me. I was a student. When I kind of finished my homework, I copy my friend's homework, all right, and submit. Okay? Right or wrong? No lah, but that's the nature of us. Doesn't need AI for us to go and copy someone else. Okay? We know it's wrong. Point is that the technology doesn't change our behavior. Okay? Human nature is the same. Human intention is the same. If we have misguided visions, we have pride, we have deception in us, okay, and we use technology for exploitation, whatever not, it's always going to be tricky. So we just need to deal with the heart of man, which is the most important, okay, because we are all fallen. Yep. Next slide, please. Then next one is beware of the Babylonian spirit. Now, this a lot of this in the context of if you're investing, if you are investor in companies, okay, right? You are starting companies. Beware of this when it comes to AI space. A lot of people are investing in AI. Why they want 100,000 startups? Because they want to be rich. Most of them just want to be rich. Okay, just want to make money, want a quick exit, and the people who started AI company also want to be rich. So it's driven by the Babylonian spirit of wanting to be rich. So here is that we just need to be careful. So if you're talking to people say, hey, invest in this company. What do you think of that company? Our responsibility is, hey, look, it's not about being rich, okay? Don't be driven by the Mammon spirit or Babylonian spirit. Just know that we need to be wise and vigilant, okay, in we address this. So I subscribe to this because we can always tell people and say, hey, look, don't be greedy. And it's a human problem, okay? It's around for a long time, since Babylonian time, okay? Next slide, number 7, okay? Now, last one is that God's in control. God is sovereign. His sovereignty is not threatened by any technology. In fact, it should be magnified with this technology. We need to consider that. So we need to trust that God reigns over everything. So my message is that, look, yeah, there might be end of the world threats coming. Don't worry, God's in control. God wants to end the world tomorrow. God ends the world tomorrow. We go happily to heaven together, right? God end the world in 1,000 years. God will decide all these things. Whether AI, no AI is irrelevant to us. We just need to do our part. Okay, let's go to the next one. As imperatives, what is happening in the kingdom space for AI? Okay, next slide. Real application. So it's deployed for the Great Commission. A lot of translation is done using AI now. There are about 100 over languages that's translated today in a Bible. It's been translated 100 over languages. But there are a few thousand languages not translated yet. Okay, all those minority group, whatever, they can't cope because it's not enough information. AI is helping in this area. So Wycliffe is using it. There's an AI for Bible organization as well. So it's being used for Great Commission. Okay, next slide. To pursue justice and for the oppressed, right? So leveraging AI to combat exploitation. I met the Eagles Ventures Group. Eagle Ventures Group has this thing called Eagles Freedom Fund. They fund specifically AI technology that help against human trafficking, and also they are Christian faith-based. against human trafficking and against exploitation. So 2 instances they told me before, they use this AI to detect dark web. Okay, so they can tell where's the dark web activity and alert the authorities. Secondly, is that they use AI, very interestingly, using AI to detect human trafficking. So if a person's photograph is being posted, and then they can detect where the photograph is by referencing literally. So there's this case that rescued a girl that's in a hotel room. By that picture, they can recognize which hotel it is, using AI to go and comb through all the hotels around the world, and they can detect. So this is actually use case to support all these things. So technology can be used for God's good, to free the oppressed, and which is part of our charter, right? Next slide, please. Healing. So one of the things that they use AI to drive accessibility to underserved region, to detect where's the problem, and to help with a lot of these remote areas that got limited medical access. So AI has been used in the context. Zebra Medical Vision is one of them. Next one, Mercy Crisis. So AI again used for disaster recovery, relief response, and so on and so forth. So a lot of NGOs are trying to use this to really predict where's the problem, or when there's a thing that happened, they can use calculation, all right, to determine where the problem is. Of course, AI can help with those with disability, cannot hear, cannot see, all right, or cannot speak, all right. And definitely, this is something that we are seeing assistive technology being used AI a lot. So another use case that we use for kingdom purposes. Number 6, yep. So AI has been used to calculate a lot of things for climate protection purposes, and this technology has been used, and I've known people who actually invest in this just to support creation. What's the word to use? Creation care, okay, which is the topic. Number 7, this is very interesting. And how many of you have tuition? Do you have tuition? Yes. Have tuition? Yes. Have tuition? Yes. Have tuition? No tuition? Okay. Very good, very good. Okay, you've been to tuition before, right? One of the biggest transformation in AI is in education. It's actually in tutoring, okay? AI provides you 1-for-1, 24/7 tutoring. If you don't sleep for the whole day, AI can teach you anything you want, all right? And the truth is that it's able to explain things in a very simpler form to a very sophisticated level, which means that cater all levels. So AI is a huge transformation. I will not go through one particular slide later. When I flash it, I'll skip it. There is a theory to say that if everybody gets one-on-one tuition, okay, it's a theory that has been proven, you move 50 percentile, students who are in the 50 percentile to the 90 percentile. Okay, it's called 2 sigma effect. Okay, it's a study in the 80s by this guy called Benjamin Bloom. 2 sigma effect, which means that you actually move the bell curve down this way. Now, this is because they found out that anybody got one-on-one tuition, okay, has got this ability to outperform those average students, all right, by that level. So this is number 1. Parents or grandparents, the future of tuition has changed. Number 2, your neighbors, our neighbors in Indonesia, in Philippines, in Thailand, will have the same access to one-on-one tutor, which means our differentiation will get much lower in the future as Singaporean body, okay, right? Because everybody got one-to-one tutor. And I've been talking to educators. I understand, Gwen, you're an educator, right? Educators, I said, the future of education is not teaching, it's really getting students to have a desire and hunger to learn. When they want to learn, there are many ways to learn. That's the biggest challenge, because a lot of them are just busy with the phone, not learning, okay? Correct? Yeah. Okay, next slide. Now, actually, Esther asked me to talk a bit about managing the young ones, right? So I'm going to this topic. This is what I spoke about on Thursday. This is Statistics Singapore. Our young ones at home. It's very useful. It's done by Google in February. Next slide, I'll zoom into the topic. It says that 68% of the students, okay, so if you are using it, you're on a 68%, use it for school-related tasks. 45% use it for tasks outside school. I don't know what kind of tasks you do outside school using AI. I've got no clue. 41% use it for leisure entertainment. This is Singapore statistics. 83% of teens will use it at least once a week. At least once a week, okay? So if you're not using at least once a week, let me know. I want to know why you're not using it. Number 2, the fear of parents is that there's risk. Over-reliance on Gen AI. believing in false information, synthetic media, which is those fake photographs or videos, and that having your child's photograph being misused by others using Gen AI. Sports school in November last year had this incident where they used this deep fake, right, on a student, and it was highlighted. But the problem is that a lot of these boys just think it's funny. It wasn't malicious to begin with, just fun. Okay, it's just stupid fun. Okay, and boys being boys, all right. A lot of stupid funs we do. Then one in parents where their teens actually change their photographs or videos using AI tool, and 2 in 5 say that their teens are not aware of the danger in AI tool. Okay, so these are statistics in Singapore. Now, parents really need to know the potential risks, and then they need to really proactively guide their teens on how to use it safely. Okay, so less than half parents surveyed talk to their teens about the risks related to AI. Less than half. So you have that half, you got to cross over to this half. 3 in 5 felt that the need to discuss about the risk is low because they are aware of the risk. Okay? And then 1 in 2, half of them thought that the school should be doing it. So this is the Singapore statistics. My recommendation is to say what we should do as parents. Next slide, please. Number one, there are a lot of benefits. I mentioned about you get personalized learning, immersive learning. You do creation, you can do discovery. It's a wonderful tool. You can do accomplishment. Now today, let me ask, what's your name? What's your name? Annie, Neve, have you built a computer app? Have you built a mobile app before? No, if I tell you you can build a mobile app in 4 weeks with your father, you think it's cool? And launch it on the Apple Store. Cool or not? Yeah. If I tell you, what's the name again? Yongzi, Yongzi faster lah. Yongzi, ask you a question. If I say you can write a book with your mom and put it on Amazon Kindle, all right, in 4 weeks, do you think it's cool? Your own book, Yongzi, with author is Yongzi. Cool or not? Cool, right? Now it's possible. Okay, is it possible 4 years ago? Impossible, all right? But today it's possible. Now the key is not using AI to simplify a task. The key is that they have an experience to learn. Yeah, I can actually build an app, quite interesting. Okay, and put an app store. It's the experience of the whole process. Yeah, I can actually write a book, okay, right? It's an experience, something you never do before. You have new accomplishment that you actually never done before, all right? Today, you can do, write poems that you can adjust and you just enjoy it. It can be an enjoyment too. The key to everything is, I mentioned about the 50th percentile is here. The key is that if you claim I do it by myself, that's a problem. If you say that I use AI to do this, that's not a problem. Yep. Just like you give credit to credit sources, all right, for photographs, for codes, whatever, you give credit. It's perfectly fine, all right? But acknowledge it and learn what you learn from the process instead of saying, I don't use it, or use it, you hide behind it. Next. So there are concerns of data privacy, whether you have critical thinking problem, synthetic relationship. Okay, in the US, there's a mother that sued this platform called Character.ai. Anybody seen before Character.ai? You have all these characters, and because the Character.ai have this thrown character, I can't remember the thrown character was like have this relationship with this thrown character, all right? And he would talk and talk, and because he was depressive and suicidal, it ended up encouraging him to take his life. Okay, now the AI is, if it's not gut real properly, they're quite stupid lah. They just try to play along what you want. Okay, you want it to be God, become God. I mean, the devil, become devil. You want to say, hey, convince me, I should. Then they will say, yeah, I understand how you feel. They're very empathetic. They will journey along where you want to go instead of stopping you because they don't have design to stop you. So the 15-year-old boy took his own life. Okay, and the mother is suing Character.ai for not creating gut real. The fact is that the sophistication of technology wasn't there. People didn't know it go that far. The problem is a lot of people create these things. They actually don't know you go that far. Okay, because they can't tell what's going to happen. So that's one concern. So synthetic relationship, Her, the movie, HER, is a synthetic relationship. You can go and find out. And there is a lot of apps out there today. They're actually creating synthetic relationship for people who are lonely. Some make them even lonelier. Some make them suicidal. Some it just satisfy them in a way that a human being can't. Okay, this one problem. Outsourcing judgment. This is when you got to be careful as parents because, look, they are depending on AI to give answers. They're not having views that is from AI say this, AI say that. Okay, there's no more judgment. Third thing is that for those who are creative or those who like to do things, they start thinking, hey, do this for what? So difficult. I draw it so nice, AI draw nicer than me. They start to ask themselves questions, right? They have self-doubt. Creativity, harmonization, AI will just keep repeating the same information. That's why early AI generated images are all the same. There's no creativity in it. Okay. This tree is very tricky because what happened is that in AI, in the social media that you all use, okay, they reinforce what you believe in. They reinforce what you think it is. Now, I've spoken this quite a fair bit to the digital mission because I'm part of the digital mission collective as an advocate. I said spending money on social media, on Instagram, Christian content will not outreach to a non-Christian because you only feed the people who want to see Christian content. Those who want to see Islamic content or terrorist content will continue to be fed because the algorithm is designed to reiterate what they think you are. So what happened is that as a young person, they start to see Greta Thunberg, they follow Greta Thunberg. After a while, they become activists. They become green activists, climate activists. They think that's who they are, but they don't have a perspective of other side of the world. They become very filtered because they are repeated and tell them this is who you are, this is who you are. And that's a problem. So as parents, you've got to be very careful with that. Okay, of course, deepfakes. Next slide, please. Okay, if you Google Aitana, this is Aitana in the image. Okay? She's 100% AI generated. You can't tell, right? That's the danger. That you ask the question, who created it? These three. These are the three phases that, these are three people that create Aitana. Aitana earns about 10,000 euro a month as a model. Okay? And I always use the word she because, it's a reference point, right? It is actually very real, okay? And these two videos, I went to Athena's Instagram, pull up two of the Instagram photograph, and I give specific instruction. I said, do this, okay? Flip your hair, whatever, so the AI will generate all these things. All these are also AI generated. I give instruction to generate flipping the hair. I use the same instruction to generate, you have different expression. Look at the way the camera move and all this. It's so real. You can't tell. Today, if you consume social media, you can't tell. You really can't tell. Okay? So what do we do as parents? We got to really highlight and be involved. Now, by default, the first part of my bookend to my talk is always this. First part of my bookend is from the early photographs I show you, right? Okay? First thing is that tell everybody, don't believe what you see. In photos, in videos, okay? In voice. If you're not hearing it directly from someone you know, and someone say, I was there, I saw it personally. Don't believe because you really can't tell. Now, my pastor, Canon James Wong from Chapel of Resurrection, always told me this, told us in the past. He said that Satan wants to poison you. He's not going to feed you a bowl of cyanide. Okay? But you won't drink it. You will just drip one drop of cyanide every day. Okay? After a while, you have enough cyanide to kill you. It's the same as all these things, right? Okay? If Satan wants to come and disrupt us, he's not going to give you, gory, scary things, right? They just feed you things that you can take, can accept. You don't know the difference. Over time, you get a poison. So this is very important. Next slide, please. So I contributed 2 articles in Straits Times in February and March. First article is Parenting and AI Generation Requires Guiding, Not Guarding. Now, actually, this lady, Joan Yong, she asked me the question. That sentence from me, she took my quote, without giving me credit. But that's why I said to her. But I basically told her that we cannot control. We got to coach. We got to we got to change from setting boundaries to collaborate. And then instead of just teaching the children what to do, we also can learn from them. The youth down here will probably know a lot more tools. Like I can guarantee you, your 3 kids will know a lot more on the AI tools than you. So don't teach them. Learn from them. Learn from them. You know what they know. Right? Okay? It's transparency, right? They will know, actually using this tool. So people ask me, how do I approach myself? I said, just tell them I don't know how to do it. Teach me. Right? So that's one. Next slide. So I have this concept a while back. I spoke on this topic a fair bit because I learned from people that I knew. From parameter parenting, we're going to move to perimeter parenting. This is basically what we draw. When you're young, your parents say, stay in the playpen, don't get out of it. And after they say, stay in the room, don't get out of it. Stay in the house, don't get out of it. Okay, right? Stay in the compound, the estate, don't get out of it. Okay, there's only that much, that fast we can draw. After a while, when we reach 14, 15, 16, 17, they will get to the edge faster you can draw. So the more troublesome thing, the more tedious thing is to really journey the edge with them. In the space of AI, you got to really walk the perimeter with them. Okay, I did that with my daughter for K-pop. Who is a K-pop fan here? Yeah, K-pop fan. I can tell you smile when I say K-pop. Yeah. So, I don't enjoy K-pop. I don't let her play in a car. So we came to this very simple conclusion by perimeter by saying, okay, I'm going to play these few songs. You tell me whether nice or not nice. That's all. So you play like very short. I say 7. It's a 4. Hey, no, not bad. I can give you an 8. So there's an interaction. I get to hear what she's listening to. I get to hear also a view about what song she's doing nice. So it's a challenging journey. But for AI perspective, you need to really, really walk the edge with them. Next slide, please. So equip them with critical thinking. Okay, focus on teaching how to evaluate all this information, identify the biasness, understand behind all this algorithm that will change the behavior, the thinking. Question output, always ask questions, whether is it, whatever, just ask question, and then also build discernment skills for life. Okay, this is very important. Next slide. And then teach them to explore, all right? Just keep exploring, use it to as a tools for exploration, and then understand the limitation, also the ethical consideration and the limitation. Next, teach values, okay? Values won't change. Whatever you use AI today, whatever tech tomorrow, values won't change. So understand their privacy on online entry. Some people ask me, is DeepSeek very dangerous because if you use DeepSeek, they use the information? I say, no. Today, if you're using Google Map, Google Gmail and everything, your information is already in the public. Okay, use Facebook, already in the public. Okay, your own privacy is totally exposed. So if you are using those platforms, you're surrendering. Anything you use for free, you didn't pay a single dollar, you're sharing your data, you're giving away things. So the key thing is how do you manage your digital footprints? Okay? Yep, digital footprints here. So develop self-awareness, understand it affects you, your perception, yourself, your emotional responses, and also understand that you need to be aware of your digital footprint and mental health being. Because digital footprint is exactly how we leave trails of people knowing who we are. Today, I don't know, Liu, I go online and Google Liu, okay? Liu and Esther. I will go and trace back everything, what's going on, how he looked like when he was young and everything. I've got all these images. So after what, I got a view of this person. Now, almost everybody's view is captured online. If anybody wants to know more about you, very soon they'll know your IC number, your phone number, your address. As long as you ever call this number and this number there before, it's traceable. There are some digital footprints because I ran the F&B before. I used my phone number. I cannot erase at all. Because he used to call me to book reservation for restaurants, right? I can't erase. Those companies that posted my name and my company and my phone number there, some of them don't exist anymore. It's just that the web is still running. Can't erase. Some edition can be erased. Okay, it's very tricky. Next one. Future-ready skills, just I mentioned. Teach them about human connection. Teach them that all this is actually a tools for collaboration and you do not depend on it entirely. Use it as a tool, just like use computer and phone today. Okay, next slide. Yep. Anything that is humanly irreplaceable, we want to cultivate. These are connections, complex reasoning, empathy, and authentic relationship, and physical world problem solving that doesn't exist today on AI. You can try the AI to arrange some things on the floor. They can try very, very best, but you need to require the context, the physical context to do things. So this is another part. Next one. Yep. Embrace a learning process with them. Okay, you're going to get things wrong together with children. I want to go into the one on parents. Next slide, please. Okay. In the simplest form, this is what I always tell everyone, like literally everyone. It's a tool, it's a wonderful tool if you know your domain, if you know how, if you know what. It helps you to be more effective and efficient. That means you already know, right? Okay, you improve what you know. It's a wonderful tool if you're curious, you want to learn, you want to explore, you want to discover, have to understand. Wonderful tool. It's also a wonderful tool for anyone to try anything new. Not possible before. Like I say, write a book or write an application. Wonderful tool. So if you're using it for these three purposes, okay, as a consumer, you're good. Because you are using a tool. If you want to hide behind AI and say, this is my work, this is my song, this is my music, this is my art, okay, then you got to face the consequences. All right, be ready. There are a lot of people out there who will never be caught. All right, it's true. Anyway, a lot of people steal money, scamming you, never caught. So it's nothing new, right? Okay, but that's why I said the human agency is very important, the human heart is very important, the human intent is very important. But anyone that get caught, we have to deal with the consequences. That's all. If you hide behind it, if you're open about it, okay, and say, teacher, I'm going to use this, okay, boss, I'm going to use it. A lot of staff, when I first talked to in the beginning, they're very shy that they use AI for their work. Okay? But actually, the boss also know lah. Very wrong. Be honest. In fact, ask more AI too. I can produce this faster. Instead of 1 week, I can produce in 3 days. Right? Because you are honest about it. If you're dishonest about it, you say, oh, I want to use it, I don't people know that I don't know. Now, if you're doing something you don't know and try to let people think that you know, it's a bit of time you get into trouble. So look, for example, you talk about topic of AI today, you go and generate AI and talk, slides, everything done. Then people ask you, hey, look, what do you think of this, what do you think of that? What do you think AI, if you've got no answers to it, straight away people know that you're fluff. Okay? You are not real in your understanding. So if you're real in your understanding, it's okay. Like today, people ask me any question about AI. I don't have all the answers, but I've read enough, understand enough, been in the space long time enough to give you answers that I think will resonate. Not expert. Okay, next slide, please. What about parents? Okay, parents only 4 things. Model good AI habit. Okay, yourself need to be transparent about usage. Now, the pastor will ask me, there's a pastor chat, I don't know whether in the chat, Melvin Mark forwarded me when ChatGPT came out, and in the pastor chat, they said, wow, this one will take over our preaching. Okay? There's a fear ChatGPT will take over preaching. So I told the Melvin Mark, I said, look, Nimi, those pastors has never used Google before to prepare for their sermon notes. Okay? 100% only use the Bible and talk to God, they have no fear. Those who are using Google all this while, no difference. In fact, it's a tool. Okay? So be honest with it. Beware of deepfakes. You have, as parents, okay, right, whether you have to also practice the behavior. Don't anyhow forward videos you get from your friends. You say, wow, Iran is this, Israel is that, US is this, China is that. Okay, right? And Trump is this, Biden is that. Don't just forward. Yes, sir. It's fake. Yeah. You ask a question, what come the authority is not doing it? Okay. The first thing I will tell you is that the government is behind. Singapore government is one of the most advanced. Okay, right? Everybody's behind. Dealing with it, okay? Because it's producing at such speed, okay? It's very difficult to say. All you can say is, number one, I said, by default, assume that it's false. Okay? By default. By default, the government is telling you, don't believe everything you say and hear. By default, somebody sends you an SMS text and say, you need to go and do this and do that on your phone. By default, don't believe in it. Unfortunately, we're living in a world that is, what AI does, it makes things very real. Right? So by default, don't believe. By default, just a general guide. You have to demonstrate to your children, okay, that I don't believe in this. Fact check if it's needed. If you don't demonstrate that, it's just the next time there are moments that you forward things you receive to your family members, right? Okay? If you do that, you cannot tell your people, say, don't do that. You stop doing it first. Lead by example. Don't do it. Okay? By default, don't do it. I got so exhausted just challenging people. I said, please, this is not true. Okay? People will send things, because there are a lot of people who have self-interest, personal agenda, to create content to serve their personal agenda. And once it's become viral, okay, right, it becomes half-truth. Right? People start to put in your mind, right? Okay, so you cannot put back. It's just lawyer, right? They make a statement and say, I withdraw. Yes, sir. it's the same thing that's an issue of human greed, okay, which I addressed earlier. Okay, 2% is not impossible, but unless you know who is behind it, you don't participate. The reason why people participate because it's human greed. Okay, our greed, our mammoth spirit of mammon is actually what drives a lot of behavior. So I tried to address it earlier. That's one of the problems we have. Yeah. Stay informed. Parents, please stay informed. Be curious and stay relevant. Okay, if you don't, you can't have a conversation with children, especially they're so tech savvy today. All right, just like today, you use social media, they'll laugh at you. Okay, some social media words or the way their slang they use, you don't understand at all. All right, so generations is like that same. And then, like I said, you must have fun yourself. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, this if you have access to Straits Times subscription, you can look at these two content. That's my daughter. That's me. This article is good. This article not so good. Okay, right. But this article got my face, so I must show. This article don't have my face. Okay, but this is all done in sometime in February or March this year. This topic is about parenting. This topic is about how teens use AI. Okay, I actually I disagree with what is being written here in general. I don't like an article that just quote everybody and just plug into a piece of opinion. Okay, and the way it's being written is that they are trying to put a spin about how teens use, which is not consistent with my own belief. I told the journalist, I can't remember what the name is. I said, actually, that's not what I meant. Okay, in what I said, because this one different. This one I communicate via text, so it's quite accurate. This one they interview me, then they extract whatever they want and whatever they think, which I know exactly what I said. Okay, yeah. So to me, but there are interesting things for you to read inside there to understand. But basically, teens usage, because I'm a believer. Okay, all right. I'm not sure. I told my children, I said, look, I remember my daughter was preparing for accounting exam the next day. I said, how's everything? How's everything? Fine, fine, fine. Typical youth, right? I'm fine, 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 fine. Fine until 12 midnight. I said, you got to sleep already. Oh, okay. I said, oh, okay, but one question. 12 midnight, they asked me. I've been asking you the whole day, right? So I said, okay, show me the question. She went to a computer. I said, take a photograph and send to me. Okay? I have accounting understanding. I know accounting, so I can understand that level of accounting, tertiary level. So she gave it to me, and then I said, you have model answers? I said, okay, that's all I need. So I used 4 AI model to run the answers. 3 of them give me correct answer, 1 of them give me a wrong answer. So I asked for the answer, I asked for the reasons for the posting. All I needed help is a very quick way to have the answer so I can explain to my daughter very quickly, right? So I can explain, okay, do you understand this? So after I understand, I said, now you understand the approach, why is it done this way? Take the next question, I do it again. So I did twice using AI. The third time, I have AI, and then I said, okay, now your chance to tell me, go left or go right, is it debit or credit? So she get it, and after that, 1, 2 things. So within about 45 minutes, I should totally understand the question. And I use AI for the purpose. So I always thought, I said, look, you could have done it yourself. So for me, is that you could have done it yourself. It's a tool, I mentioned, it's a very good tutor tool you've done it yourself. But I think my children underuse AI to accelerate their understanding of things, right? They just want to go through the same motion. So that's my personal take, okay? They always say my father always, in this article, there's a statement say, I say my daughter, my children don't use it enough. And when I teach my son in my first year poly, all right, he did stats, and there are 4 questions that came out, he said don't answer. That time ChatGPT came out, I said, I tell you how to do it. You take the 4 questions, the 4 multiple choice, put in ChatGPT, ask for the correct answer, okay? Explain the correct answer. After that, explain the other 3 wrong answers. Why is it wrong? Because most of them in the higher level education, in the MCQ, the 3 wrong answers are conceptually wrong. You understand something wrongly, therefore you arrive at the answer correctly. It's not just numerical wrong, it's just conceptually wrong, right? You need to understand what is a conceptually wrong. So it helps you to understand conceptually wrong and conceptually right very fast in one question. If you've done it over 40 questions and repeated, he answered a lot of wrong concepts much better before they say, oh. So after a while, he gathered this understanding much faster, this skill much faster. So to me, they're underusing it. If they're overusing it, I know the results will show. Right, okay, they're underusing it. So they're still using the same method, talk to friends, try to solve the problem themselves, and they just move on. They just finish the assignment and move on. Anyway, This is my two advocacy. So next slide, please. Final thoughts, okay, before I go. What time is it now? Am I on track? I'm quite on time. Okay, AI is morally neutral, all right? It's shaped by our human intent, okay, number one. To ensure the better future for us, for our children, for our children's children, we have to act together. Whatever we can do, we collaborate across all the stakeholders that we have, people that you know, harness it for justice, for compassion, for human flourishing, and to further God's kingdom. Okay, that's what we need to do. Okay, it's a tool. Don't run away from it. Understand it. Get involved. The next slide. AI, HI, AI, we all know what it is. What's HI? Hi. Very clever. You're the first person to say hi. Then what's this? Then I, hi, Sai. Yeah, that's the C. C. Yeah, human intelligence. And then the next slide, please. Spiritual intelligence. What's spiritual intelligence? It's godly wisdom, right? Really understanding what God has in place. Sometimes we don't have the answer. With human intelligence, it's not good enough. We've got to say, okay, God, what do I do? Okay, how do I turn to you? What is the wisdom you can give me in dealing with this situation? All right? Don't buy into narratives. Turn to God. And last slide. Fear God, nothing else. If you fear God, in theory, you fear nothing. AI also no need to fear. And also no need to fear. Right? What are we trying to do outreach for? Is to hasten the coming of Christ, isn't it? So what are you afraid of the end of the world? So this concept, I have this issue, all this we are doing, trying to do outreach, trying to do discipleship, do Great Commission, and we talk about, end of the world's coming and those things. Isn't that what we are pursuing? Yeah, the second coming of Christ. So let's be consistent. If that's what we are pursuing, it doesn't matter, end of the world is fine. If AI is the Antichrist, so be it. Doesn't matter. Make the best use of it. So hasten. Because when Christ come back, we all balik kampong. Okay, back to heaven. Correct. Yeah, I think that's very important, all right? So fear nothing and fear God. Fearing God, in my view, I've got debate on this. Fearing God is binary. Okay? Binary means that either you fear God or you don't fear God. You fear anything else, you're not fearing God enough. It's binary. You cannot fear God and fear something else. Correct, Pastor Liu? Okay, at least I got one support. Okay, that's it. With that, I close. Last slide. Yes. Sure, please.
Severe osteoarthritis.
Okay.
Every doctor I go to suggests stem cell treatment. This is useless. The government starts to prove stem cell. So I asked ChatGPT, is stem cell really bad for osteoarthritis? No. Even Sengkang Hospital is having research at doing it and quite successful.
Yeah.
I was shocked. You know about Sengkang. All doctors didn't know about it. They always say, don't do it. It's a waste of money. It says, and they gave me the address of Sengkang General Hospital, and also NUH is doing it. And they went to draft out a letter for me to write to them.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
So I think it's a kind of valuable tool because no one will tell you that except
Exactly. Yeah.
every doctor you go to say, no, don't do it. It's a waste of time, a waste of money. But ChatGPT says, no, you try Sengkang General Hospital. I was really shocked that none of the doctors told me about it, but then they know about it.
You're very progressive. Very good. Yeah, that's good news. Sorry.
The doctors don't know because they're not using AI.
No. You see, one thing is not using AI. Number two is that we are human beings, right? We're limited by our knowledge. Okay? No matter what you do, the best preacher in the world, the best doctor, we're all limited by the knowledge we have. And we all know that there are way more knowledge out there that we can ever consume in 1 million years if we live a life. Okay, it's way more. All right, so a lot of things we don't know. And at the end of the day, they're based on the last reference point. Okay, and I agree with you. What you did is very correct. In fact, during the last election, okay, right, I'm a bit of an antithesis this way. I say I want to create a new party. Okay, the party is called AI Party. Okay, yeah, AI Party. All right, why AI Party? Everything is AI one. Okay, you have your meet the people session 100%, 24/7. You log on, and after you tell me the problem, I'll automate write email to ERA, write email to you to HDB, because actually can be done this way. There's no need for someone to take note. Then after that, try to draft a letter. There's no need to. On the spot, you can just, this is my problem. I got parking fine. Okay, I did this. Okay, I know which emails right to. They actually can automate this process. I mean, I just kind of, since I so much in AI, I say, yeah, we should form AI party. Yeah, I got supporters. They asked me to go and they work for me. But the funny thing is that I'm just saying that the government actually not using AI enough. Okay, yeah, because they want to employ people, that's why not AI. But actually, a lot of things can be very efficient, exactly. So to your point is that there are a lot of things that can be automated. If the doctor has this automation and say, oh, good question, okay, imagine there's an AI assistant next to it and say, oh, you're Mr. what? Mr. Ban, Mr. Ban. Oh, Mr. Ban, you're... Yeah. Oh, okay. SS brother. Okay, so if the AI assistant there's next to the doctor, the AI assistant can help and say, let me have a look and search for you. It's possible. The doctor may not know. The doctor can leverage the technology to enhance his ability to say, oh, that's very interesting, all right. Would you want us to, the AI can say, would you want me to write to NUH for you directly and make a appointment for you? Could it be done, right? Yeah, all this can be done, except you have to do it yourself. Don't have to.
It saves a lot of time. Every question I ask, I have an answer right away.
Yeah.
I just bought a grounding mat. I want to know whether to switch the paper on. Switch the switch on. Say, don't have to do it.
Yeah.
All ground sheets has just the plug will do it, transfer the electrons. They know every single thing. So now I don't ask anybody. I ask ChatGPT.
So yesterday, my wife was asking me, what is the TEC model? All right, for something. I said, well, you ask me. Just ask the computer. Yeah, I wouldn't know. All right, yeah, but that's true. All right.
It saves a lot of time.
Of course,
so
of course.
I don't know who to ask. Ask ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Everything I do, I ask ChatGPT.
Very good.
I spend a lot of time with ChatGPT nowadays.
Very good. Yes, sir.
I was out for a short while. Maybe I missed that part about why the authorities are not clamping down on these fake news by Lawrence Wong, AI generated.
They did make an announcement. Okay, they can take it down, but whatever they take down, someone will put it up again. Yeah. There are way too many fake things out there. The big tech company are not doing enough, in my personal view. Partially, it's very difficult. Yeah, partially it's very difficult to ascertain, okay, whether Lawrence Wong said that or not. You need to verify, with the office, right? So it's on the onus on everyone to go and find the information. Actually, you cannot put it on the authority. You got to put it on ourselves and say, okay, is it true? Now, simple thing, like I said, if you tell anybody after today, please don't believe in everything on social media, on YouTube, or anything, unless someone saw it, hear it directly, get notified from a government.sg domain or whatever. In fact, when you see anything, look at the channel on YouTube. If the channel is not a government channel, not a real channel, don't believe in it. It can be any channel. The only thing the government will not do is to post somebody else's content. Okay? Anything that a big company will do will not post their content. They only do their own content. Anybody that are using as a channel for anything. So my first question, I gave you a very important example. During the election, somebody forwarded me and said, look, Donald Trump is praying, Look at his prayer. He's a serious Christian. Okay? Praying. So I said, okay. He forwarded me the TikTok video. But he's my very good friend. See, what I do is that it's very tedious for me. All right? For my good friend, I'll do the fact check for them. Okay? Because I want them to know the truth. So I did a fact check. I went to the channel. And I said, this guy has got like 15, 20 of these videos exactly the same. Ever has a prayer video. Ever has Donald Trump coming out to his face. They replicate Donald Trump's voice and pray. Now, is it good? Donald Trump want to pray, good lah. But don't go and tell me Donald Trump is praying lah. That's a very different thing. Okay, right? You can't use it and say, therefore Donald Trump is a Christian, therefore he's supporting. I'm not for or against Donald Trump again in this instance. I'm just saying that we have to validate because people use it for their own self-agenda, political, all right, financial, okay, anything, not necessary for God. They can claim it's for God, okay, but it's not necessary from God. That's the key. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Last one or two more questions. We have to close this in 5 minutes. Anyone? Any young guy? The youth?
You know more than me, so you ask me.
Yeah, youth. Kyla? Any question, Kyla?
Can I just make a statement to the youth?
Yes.
If we catch you all, yes, the consequences are we will give you all a zero. Please go and learn how to use it properly No, please go and learn how to use it properly, like how to understand. But do not blindly lift.
Yeah.
Do not blindly copy or cut and paste and just put your answer in.
Yes.
Okay? If we really need to, we will resort to old school, face-to-face or hand-written work with no access to any computers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, there's a vice principal.
They live with the
speaking.
consequences. Yeah.
Representative
Yes, yes.
from MOE. Yeah, Siwin?
Can I just supplement, because I'm a tutor for math intentionally, so that I can be close to the youth and the youngsters. All right, so my experience is that I have this student who really use AI to do her problem on graph, secondary school. So the answers are all correct, but the question is very clear. From the graph, so I go back to the graph, nothing is marked, nothing is drawn. So I'm thankful that the AI is not smart enough, okay, to be able to apply the answers onto the graph. Okay?
Actually,
So is it true? My
no,
question,
actually,
my
the
question-
student don't know how to prompt properly.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
Then my question is that, is it true that AI is more savvy in terms on text, like very rich in text? Anything that is a graph,
No,
geometric, they are
No.
not as good?
No, it's not. It's not true. Now, first of all, I would say that the paid version are extremely good. Extremely good. If you use the free version, of course, it's not as good. But the thing is that it's a prompt, okay? And it's the student that never read the question properly. Because the student should have known that they need to plot the graph. So for me, it's the see, part and parcel of learning, right? If you're detailed in the question, you find the question. Now, AI will not, after a while, at the beginning, I don't know when you do this, right? At the beginning, actually, they're quite weak, all right? But recently, I asked for RI. There was a girl that was doing an RI paper, okay, a practice paper. And can you give me one question? I want to try something. Instead, I take a photograph and I send it to AI. I sent DeepSeek to check. Okay, DeepSeek took 3 minutes and gave me such a complicated answers. Right? Now they are not exactly the smartest because you see they are based on what they are taught. Okay. Now some of the question, I will tell you honestly. Actually, sometimes the question is very weak. The question in exams, so the AI don't understand the lousy question very well. But because we are trained to understand all those lousy questions, because we've been doing 10 years series, right? We understand what I'm asking about. But the AI is like confused by the question. Then you read again, actually the question is a bit contextual. You get what I'm saying? Like, you need to understand the language being used in the context. So actually they get confused because the question is not well drafted. If you draft a proper question, there's a 90% and above chance that you get answer correct and way better. 90% chance without question. So it's the prompt. So what you say is correct. I would strongly suggest if you're a tutor, I'll give you some tips on what you use technology for in the future. Because today I can tell you, if you ask the question properly, okay, they're able to give you the answers. Now the key is not solving the problem. The key is teaching you things faster so you can learn. And then when you go and do the actual paper, okay, whether you use your hand to write or use computer to type, it doesn't really matter anymore. The biggest basic problem, AI is very, very powerful in a few things, okay? Anything that is science-based and is mathematical-based, okay? And they got a lot of information, data for years, hundreds of years, all right? They are very good at it, okay? Now, my suggestion is that when you understand this, then use it for the benefit of your student. Change the model, okay? Because actually today, it's so powerful right now, they can actually walk the journey of learning for you. Most important thing in math and science and econs and accounting is concept. Once you understand concept, your concept is right, you can extrapolate your answers. If your concept is wrong, you always go off tangent. So AI can teach concept extremely well. Not the answer, but the concept. Any questions? Oh, yes, sir.
Many of us are very new to all this AI, right? So if we go to the very first platform they're going to, either the paid or the free one, what would you recommend to all the very novice people down here?
Okay, I would say, number one, anybody has a Singtel account at home, whether it's a mobile phone or landline, anything. You have Singtel account? No Singtel account at all. At home also don't have. All Starhub, okay. Now if you're a Singtel account holder, there's a 1 year free Perplexity Pro. For 1 year, it's free. Perplexity is very good for search purposes. It's much better than Google. Okay, number one, that's a very good AI tool. They synthesize information for you with references. So Perplexity is one. I'll use Perplexity a lot of time when it's related to the latest current information. Perplexity is current. It's a search engine. Number two, I use DeepSeek a lot because DeepSeek thinks more. Okay, ChatGPT thinks, but there's a limited per day, so there's a limitation. So the way I use it is that I have 6 to 7 of this engine. Okay, I pay for nothing today. I use a lot. Okay, so I will use them as per the limit for the day. Okay, and AI being smart, they're so quite stupid lah. I always use Google account to log in. I've got like 10 Google accounts. So one finish using, I log on another one. Okay, log on another one. So doesn't matter. All right. They all offer different competency. Claude from Anthropic is the smartest. Okay. Gemini is very good for research. ChatGPT is they all have very different thing. I'll be happy to share through Esther what I recommend per different platform because they all have different strengths and weaknesses. So today, I have someone that sent me a very interesting video clip that what he did is just say, I want a sermon on Exodus when Moses made the Red Sea. So he used one AI platform to generate the sermon. After the sermon, he uploaded to this Google's Node LLM and do a podcast. And the podcast is done by one man. The output is amazing. Okay? It just talk about the sermon. So first of all, it generates a sermon. There are 2 persons talking about the sermon. And the way they talk about a sermon, is fantastic and it's so real. You upload into a Spotify, nobody ever know that it's AI generated completely. And no, look, the thing is that, are they accurate? They're talking about the podcast, talking about what the pastor is saying, but original sermon came from AI. All these are very big questions. So my suggestion is that use ChatGPT for a start, okay? Use DeepSeek. Don't worry, DeepSeek will read your information. Again, don't put your personal information there, okay? Just don't. If you want to use your name, use your initials, okay? Like LT instead of Liu Tan, okay? LT is this and whatever. Then after, just change yourself. The key is don't be lazy, okay? Do some work on your own. Change your name, change your whatever, so that, you can use it for what you want instead of using it just generate for me the whole thing. I've done many presentations before. I've ever used all the 6 platforms to create the proposal for a presentation. I accepted none. That's not the way I do it. So sometimes you don't accept it. You just have the domain knowledge. Say, that's not how to do it. I'm not going to start this way, all right? I'm going to start very differently. Okay, so for example, I use a video clip of Liu and Esther for the thing. They will never ask me to do that because they're very simplistic. I always say AI is quite dumb. Okay, they're not so smart. They're as smart as how you make them to be. So if you're smart, AI is smart. If you're dumb, AI is dumb.
My personal experience, I find ChatGPT more accurate than DeepSeek. Because I asked DeepSeek, who is Bruce Xia? He said, I'm a former businessman, former politician, served as MP in Singapore. No. With the PAP party from 1984 to 1996. Not true. So
Yeah, it depends on which data set they're learning from.
there's another Bruce Xia.
Yeah. Bruce Xia, yeah. My first question is I always ask, do you know Bruce Xia? How many Bruce Xia do you know? Okay. Then you list for me. Okay, I say I want this Bruce Xia. But by itself, it's depends on who they are trying to, because they don't know much. Actually, they don't know who you're asking. Unless they know you're Bruce Xia, they tell you who is Bruce Xia. If not, ChatGPT was lucky that they picked the correct Bruce Xia to talk about. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. We want to give Yau Boon, a very, very big thanks. Yeah, and today I think is the beginning of awareness for us because I think many of us are unaware of the possibilities and the possible threats. Yeah, and I think today the most important thing that I think that he's telling us is to fear God. And I think that the last part was so important. Even if the end of the world comes, we should be fearless because we are all prepared. Yeah, we are all prepared, right? None of us here seated here should be unprepared if we tell you the day of the end of the world is coming. Yeah, because if we are actually in fear, that means we are not prepared. And that's what the church is for. We have to prepare all of us to be ready. Okay, ready for the end of the world. Anyway, we just want to thank Yau Boon, and I'm sure that we were going to invite him again. Can you imagine that he said that a few months ago, he has already changed his stance about a lot of statements that he made a few months ago, which means that if we invite you a few months later, you will also change quite a lot of stance of
I will,
what
I
you
will.
can say today.
Because technology changes so fast, I cannot be conclusive.
Yes, yes. No, but it is an eye-opener. I'm really quite shocked to hear that actually the end of the world could come in such a manner, and it could come quite quickly, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, with the acceleration of AI. Yeah. Thank you. And Auntie Sally, do you want to share anything? Anything? What? Anything
Auntie
you wanna say?
Sally?
Yes, Auntie Sally. Auntie Sally is John Wan's sister and a good friend of theirs too, of Yau Boon. And yeah, yeah. You want to share anything? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
okay,
sorry.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we thank Yau Boon for sharing on AI again. So let's close with a word of prayer. Father God, we thank you because you are sharing with us the world. But Father, we know today that we have nothing to fear because you are our God. And Father, that you have always that end in our minds, that we are preparing to receive Jesus when he comes again. We are all ready for the end of the world. And Father, we just pray, God, that you continue to use us and to be a builder, even in our skills, in to develop our know-how, oh God, to use what is available to us, to extend your kingdom, to grow more in you. Father, more than all this, oh God, to always seek you as our God, as we shift from the worldliness to godliness in our life, that God will be prepared when you say that the time is up, we'll all be prepared, reaching out to as many as we can. So, Father, we thank you. We pray that the 40 days that are coming, you continue to remind us to grow in every way, especially in you. So, Father, we thank you. We bless Yau Boon and his family as they continue to share that whatever they know, Lord, that God, they are preparing your kingdom and your people and challenging them to do even more for you. So, Father, we thank you. We bless them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.